Hey, what's up? Just want to thank you guys for watching our channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I remember right after Rashard Lewis had signed with us, after my rookie year, going into my second year, he came into the gym. I saw him work, and I mean, to this day, it just left such a lasting impression on me. Because this was a guy who, at the time, had signed the largest contract in NBA history. I think it was like 6 years, $123 million. And did his press conference, and then drip and sweat, hour and a half later, just working on the basketball floor. And I'm curious if there was any similar early sort of takeaways about Ray, KG. Obviously, you'd been around Paul, but I think for young players, it's so meaningful, and sometimes it could be shocking to see the level of work, intensity, seriousness with which these guys approach their job. And it left such a lasting impression on me. I'm curious if you had any early takeaways about being around those guys early in that season.
Well, I definitely did all three at each particular time of the year. But KG stands out the most. His mindset, his approach, his discipline. Every day after practice, he would do the same routine. He was the most disciplined guy that he put his work in every day. He knew what shots he was going to shoot on the floor, and he practiced those every day. So in the game, when he made those shots, it was kind of obviously, it was a no-brainer on why he was such a great player. And then going into pregame, right before the game, KG never got to the gym early. Opposite of Ray would get there 4.5 hours before the game and work on his craft. So it's kind of, learning between Ray and Kevin. Obviously, Paul was my vet my rookie year, but Paul had got hurt that year as well. And he wasn't around much. So I had Wally Zerbiak and Michael McCandy, who Mike didn't play that much. And then Wally, it was pretty much at the tail end of his career. So I didn't get a lot from those guys as far as what it took to be a professional on a high level, and future Hall of Famers and the big three that I played with. So it was fun for me to kind of watch and see and go through the process and ask questions and really just kind of sit and observe, kind of implement my own little, pregame rituals, how I would approach the game. And how focused and how we wanted to win the game. Each game we played.
Was KG hard on you early in that run?
KG was very hard on me. I mean, all of them were at each particular time. KG held me the most accountable, I believe. He would get on me a little bit more vocally in front of people. Paul might pull me to the side. Ray at times, but for the most part, KG was a big homie. He held me accountable. Told me when I was doing great, and he told me when I was messing up as well.
How would you just overall, because there's so many stories about Kevin. There's so many random videos that come across my IG feed of him in games talking trash or, mouthing off to people. And I'm just, him as a teammate, him as a leader, just how would you sort of describe the day-to-day of that?
I could possibly say he probably was my favorite teammate. Only thing I was hesitant because of the age difference. I think AG's almost maybe 10, 11 years older than me. So off court, we weren't really, as much in tune because obviously lifestyles are different. He's 31 and I was thinking, I'm 37. I wouldn't be hanging out with a 24-year-old, you know what I mean? But on the court as a teammate, he's by far my favorite. He's so unselfish. And I remember Doc made a comment. It was a couple years we were playing together, and he was talking about how unselfish, he's the most unselfish player on the team. And I'm like, there's no way I'll lead the team in assists, but my mindset wasn't to where Doc was thinking. He was talking about, if the team, if anybody hit the floor, Kevin was the first to run from all the way across court to help his teammate up. He would sacrifice his body setting picks. He never complained about getting the ball. Paul and Ray wanted the ball all the time. And when every once in a while, KG gave me that look like, bring that motherfucker down here. But other than that, he was always willing to sacrifice, took less shots when he came to Boston. And obviously he knew that coming in, but to see him go through it when we did have adversity, he never wavered as far as who he was as a player and a professional. I learned a lot from him. And like I said, he taught me a lot.
The reason I'm asking about Kevin's leadership and him as a teammate is because as a guy who competed against those teams and a guy who, as a basketball fan, watched those teams play a ton when I wasn't playing against you guys, I really found those teams fascinating. I did. And not just because of the basketball, because of the personalities. Obviously, Kevin's a big personality. Paul, I played with in LA, big personality. Ray has his own little thing. And then you had guys like Perk and Nate Robinson, Stephon Marbury at one point, Eddie House,
right.
big baby, right? You got Doc, like the Doc's a big personality.
Yeah.
And somehow it all just worked. And I'm sure there was, like any team, like there's going to be days where you scrap at practice or you bitch and complain to each other. But I'm wondering why and how that whole thing just worked and you guys were able to just constantly compete at such a high level.
Well, early on, I probably couldn't answer that, with a great answer. But now I'm obviously playing 16 seasons in the NBA and becoming a rookie versus now being a vet on the team. It starts with the head coach. It starts with Doc, everybody buying into what he's saying and what he's preaching every day. And then it trickles down to your veterans. If you don't have your vets on the same page with your coaching staff, then I don't think you have much room for success. So with Doc, that word he instilled in us that particular year, our first year together, was Ubuntu. Is I cannot be all I can be unless you're all you can be. And with us making that sacrifice and understanding that it's going to be a different person every night. It's not about any individual accolades this year in particular. We had one goal in common. And whatever it took to sacrifice, that was best for the team. And that's what we believed in. And that was our mantra all year. And we kind of stuck by that and were able to, come to fruition and win a championship.